En relación a Durban y a Río, vamos mañana a la Embajada de Egipto a mediodía, 45 Boulevard de la República. Face to Durban and to Rio, let's go tomorrow to the Egyptian Embassy at noon, 45 Boulevard de la République. Face à Durban et à Rio, on ira demain à l'ambassade égyptienne, 45 Boulevard de la République. Merci.
It seems that Mubarak just left the power. It seems that Mubarak just left the power.
Mubarak left the power. It means that we can be mobilized. We can go to COP17, to Rio +20, mobilized and make them hear our voices. That's it. That's it. Okay, good. Good energy.
I think we must concentrate on the truth, because it's a value that human beings have. No, I'm starting talking, so why should I? Too much worry, too much time. Concentrate on truth. Why? Because it's a value. So concentrate on truth, because it's a value we have and others don't have. So we should have all leaks, WikiLeaks, which are changing the world. So this we can do, and justice has to be not a relative thing, but an absolute.
Should I go?
Go.
Okay, I'm Vish from South Africa. I want to raise 3 points in relation to the summary. I think our starting point should be an ethical one, an honest one, if we are going to wage an effective battle on the way forward. Within the WSF, there are different currents and different positions around climate change. We are driven by our petty nationalisms, we are driven by our NGO funding and so on. If we are going to move forward and ensure that Bolivia is not alone, we've got to rise above these narrow positions, and we've got to consolidate that common platform. And I want to appeal to the Assembly that we ask the Bolivian government to convene a Cochabamba 2 as soon as possible, preferably by June, so we can consolidate one common global position. The second point I want to make is that the NGOs and us as a section of humanity, we are not humanity. We need to mobilize the 6 billion people on this planet to bring their weight onto this process and into this debate and question we face. So I want to propose that we use the internet as a weapon of struggle to launch a global referendum around a common platform that we can consolidate at Cochabamba 2. We need to be able to reinforce our position in the streets, in Durban and in Rio, by saying so many billion people stand with us. Finally, I want to say that let's take the fight also to the South African embassies where you live and where you struggle. Thank you.
Yo soy Adriana de IDEC, Instituto Brasileiro de Defensa del Consumidor. Hacemos parte de un Fórum Nacional de Entidades Civis de Defensa del Consumidor. Me voy a hablar en español, creo que mejor para todos. Bueno, solamente para proponer concretamente para Rio +20 que se ponga directamente y profundizadamente. Sí. Adriana, IDEC, Instituto de Defesa do Consumidor. Falo, mas não. Okay, I'll try to speak in English, but my English is not so good. So, I have a proposal, concrete proposal that put the discussion of production and sustainable consumption in a deep way. Maybe make a specific group, work group, to talk about production and sustainable consumption. And before Rio Plus 20 in Porto Alegre, the thematic forum, make something really different that we are used to do in talking about social movements, but propose innovative form. As Yara was talking yesterday in GRAP, put the culture inside it's not only the concerts at the end of the day, but make some march with specific themes, all the themes: water, access to electricity and renewable energy and mobilidade, emissions and everything, but concrete things, very silly, sensible ways, touching the heart. But talking about consumption, it's not a simple issue, but I think maybe it's a possibility to touch people, because we can move when we perceive concrete things that we can choose, we can change in our lives in personal and in collective ways. So in Porto Alegre, in Rio, and in Durban too, make something different and talk about sustainable and production, sustainable consumption.
Hi, this is not a comment, but simply an announcement that tomorrow morning there will be a climate justice convergence, which will be focusing more on the preparations for Durban in this hall at 8:30. And this will be more a discussion about concrete strategies and what to do in the preparations for the Durban COP. So tomorrow morning, Friday, 8:30 at this room, and everyone is welcome.